Yo, sound control. Can everybody hear me? What's poppin'? We are live on YouTube and we are also on Discord now. I'm gonna turn on my camera. Um, yo, my man, I'm gonna give you the microphone. I gotta check the stream though. I think everything is working, but yeah. All right. How do I give you the microphone, bro? Request to speak. Come on. You just joined. Yep.
Hey yo, how's it
Yo,
going?
you are able to speak. Wow.
Beep boop, beep beep, beep beep beep.
Oh man, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm chilling.
I
Finally, after all those years, we're finally able to meet here in the Grindhouse podcast, or however
yeah.
we're gonna call it.
Yeah, this is actually turned out to be a podcast now since it's just you and me, you know?
Absolutely.
So I'm just gonna interview you in this grind room episode.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. Wait, let me just cook up something. Where's the other people though? Like for real, like everyone. Wait, is my
We
internet
got
okay?
like 6 people in the poll that wanted to allegedly speak out today.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm now using the VPN to both join here and also stream. I don't know if
All
everything
right.
is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if everything is healthy right now. I need to check the stream on my phone. One sec. But you're hearing me fine, right? No issues.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. 1 second. Trianox, join the Discord. Let's chat on Discord. Okay, it's actually working fine. Castiel Unixer. Your name is like a bit weird, bro. Do you wanna like speak?
Yeah, you got a request.
Yeah, you could.
Speak on stage, I believe it's called.
Yep. Or maybe I can just invite you.
Hi, how's it going?
Yo, man.
What's cooking?
We're doing good. What about you guys?
I'm just
We're
drinking
chilling, we're
water.
chilling. Is that
Yeah,
us too?
I do the same.
That's
I'm taking so much caffeine nowadays, like, oh yeah, the 5 liters jug.
it's not like the ass water though.
It's the first time I'm seeing that brand, by the way. What's that brand?
Bro, this is wait, can I just show it to you? Wait, it's a bit hard. It's same and that. It's fucking
Yeah.
I don't know the pH level on this.
Literally, like,
I
is
don't.
that Anchor special edition, maybe?
Oh, how is
Yo.
it doing? Hey,
Yo.
welcome to the Grindcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is a podcast now.
Someone has to make an speaking voice for the Grindcast.
Speaking voice, what do you mean?
Like, guy from the 50s, like, would say, "Welcome to the Grindcast," something like
Oh.
this.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Grindcast actually is a good name
Yes,
for a podcast.
someone gotta do it.
So guys, what are you grinding on these days? Tell me about it. Transistor, you go first.
All right, my grind's been, I guess, low and slow this week, but if you lurk on the cooking channel, you know that I've been literally cooking.
I respect that.
So yeah, and the actual grind I think is going to become more intense the next week. Yeah, because Zig 14 is dropping, so I'm gonna have a lot of on my hands, a lot of stuff like packaging Zig for Void Linux, like testing my own packages. Zoom, if you follow me or the streams closely, you might know about Zoom, the tool I've been developing.
Yep. Maybe paste the link. I know the project, but the other guys might not know it.
Let me paste the link. Yeah, there's a lot of, at least 2 dependencies that I had to fork off and create my custom branches and releases for them, because I had to support Zig 13, and now that 14 is going to release, I'm expecting a lot of breaking changes and a lot of work to bring that back up to speed.
Isn't that always the case with each Zig release? Like, everything breaks usually?
Yeah, well, I believe there were better and worse releases. Especially, I think Linux Wave had a lot of things to be changed and adjusted. I believe, yeah. And my PR for Zix 13 had been sitting for, I don't know, ages, months. I remember.
Wait, PR on which project?
On Linux Wave.
Oh yeah, sorry for that again. My bad.
No problems. But yeah, but things can require a lot of attention and work in Zig, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the work you do, man. I mean, not a lot of open source devs are just jumping into Zig these days. Maybe they are, but like, you're kind of doing great work, I think. I'm still not using Zoom or Zoom. I don't know how to pronounce it, but looks pretty good, I would say. I might package it for Arch, by the way, if you're okay with that.
Let's wait for Arch to actually take on Zig 14 before we make any, promises.
Yeah, good point.
All right, so what's everyone else been grinding about?
By the way, like Codeberg is something like GitHub?
Yeah, something like that, but maintained by a German non-profit instead of big Microsoft or big Git.
That's top open source mentality. Like using that, something like that, is something respectable.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, but by the way, does anyone else have Orhun's video frozen, or is it just me? Just perpetually looking at.
Oh yeah, he closed the camera right now.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to turn it off because I'm using a lot of bandwidth by running a VPN and also streaming and also Discord. So yeah, I just turn it off. But yeah, Castiel, unique, bro. What is your name? What was your name?
Okay. You can just call it Castiel. Don't worry about it. It's all fine.
Okay,
There is
Cat.
actually a character in a TV show called Supernatural called
Yeah,
Castiel.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A series.
Is it like your real name or just
No,
inspired
no, it's
for?
not. It's just an inspiration from the series. Like, I was planning to come up with a name for my character, so I was just thinking and said, okay, why not making it Castiel and putting like something related to Unix and Linux as the last name? So I did Castiel Unixer.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Castiel is a pretty cool name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Because actually I was a really big fan of the TV show. I watched it twice. Even it has like 15 like seasons, and each season has
Yeah, 15
20
seasons,
episodes.
man. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't even watched the whole series, like, because it was pretty much time consuming for me. So, but I will watch it one day.
Actually, I watched it when I was a kid, like in I think one of the channels on TV, and after that, like after like years, I rewatched the entire thing. Because when I
Oh,
was watching it, I was a kid, like it was like just 8 seasons.
8 seasons. Like, I
Yeah,
guess they
but like
added the last couple of seasons, like after years, right?
yeah, but like the last seasons, like actually are trash, to be honest. Yeah, the last 4 seasons, they're not like that good. Like you don't feel like
Oh,
the
I got it.
danger
Yeah.
for the characters like the first seasons, because
I mean,
you start to be used to each time something bad happens, like there is someone that's who will save the day.
I stopped watching it at the fourth season, to be honest.
Yeah, actually the first seasons are good. Yeah. And the writing also is good in terms of the characters, the storytelling. But like after like few seasons, like it gets a bit how do you call it? Like the pace is not good.
I got it.
Which series was
Yeah.
this again?
So
Supernatural?
It's called Supernatural.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
yeah. Actually like the good thing about the TV show is the trips. I like they travel a lot in America, and like they take you to a lot of places.
I remember I heard about this show like a while ago. Like it's something old, right? It's not very new.
Very
Yeah.
old, very old. If you watch it, like, you will see people are using those Nokia 3310s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, like the all TV shows like have something like to them. Like there is some kind of sauce they had then. Because like my favorite TV shows are actually started really old. Like for example, my favorite one is Dexter, and Dexter is really old.
Yeah.
I think 25. I think 2005 started. I guess.
Okay, so not Doctor Who old.
Yeah, not Doctor, because like the old era of Doctor Who, like it's the pace is actually slow because they haven't figured out how to turn like the pace from the books or the writing to the actual pace in the like something that's film for people to see.
Speaking of shows, I've been looking for another thing to binge on my free time. And yeah, that mostly turns into scrolling through Netflix until I pass away. pass out. But yeah, I found this. I was looking through the science fiction category, and I found something called Uglies, and it looked nice, but it's one of those things that you find it seems to look nice, but then you start the show and it turns into some kind of Disney fantasy sort of bullshit.
Okay, do you guys watch anything nowadays? Like, do you guys are able to find some free time to watch or start on a series? Like, how busy it gets, and like, yeah, about it.
Actually, I prefer to watch something I already watched because like I can turn off my brain and like do something else to be productive. And like nowadays like I don't have like the mental power to watch something and just focus on that thing. Like I prefer to do something else with my time, and at the same time I can like trick my brain to like to it like thinking that I'm giving it something to play with. Yeah.
For me, I can't personally find any time to start in a series or something like that since my life is pretty busy out there, like trying to manage my job and trying to go to gym to keep myself fit. Like, it feels like I'm wasting time by just starting on a series or like watching a non-stop 3 hours of movie. So yeah, it's pretty much fun, but yeah, I don't really have time to do stuff like this nowadays.
It's the
I'm
same
more
for me.
likely to just start a movie and be done with it, and do a commitment on a series.
Yeah, yeah, it's better to commit on GitHub than commit to a TV show.
The movies and TV series are not very grind compliant. I'm just saying, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's really hard to make some time for that, to be honest. Because I mean, if I watch a movie, it's like at least 2 hours. Like that's just gonna either gonna go to waste, or I'm just gonna like it and get inspired or get motivated by watching that. Um, so I don't know. I need to pick something really good. I don't have any. I don't want to like take risks by watching some crappy movie. So the last movie that I watched was just Ratatouille. Facts.
Nice. You wanted to see yourself in the mirror, the rat under the chef's
No,
hat
no,
and
no, 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 no,
whatnot.
no. Stop talking. How do I kick you from the grinder? But yeah, I'm actually curious about what you're grinding on, Castle. Just tell us about
yeah.
what you're doing, because you do like
Okay, let me.
interesting stuff.
So nowadays, I don't really product. I'm not really in the production side. Okay, so like a couple of months ago, I was working full time on a company in Paris. Like, it was pretty hard. We were like managing legacy code from the 2000s, which is basically written in PHP, and the French developers did. So all the commands and the variables and stuff like that were in French. So I was the one who was refactoring the code. So it was pretty hard for me, and like I worked there for 7 months. If we don't count like the first 2 months of basically working under the lead. So after that, like I actually, like, while I was working there, I was trying to improve my knowledge in like backend and like some kind of approach to backend, like front end in general. So I kind of improved my knowledge there. So after that, nowadays I'm just trying to learn more and more to make better products. So I got 3 projects in my mind. One of them is funded from a private defense company in Europe. So we're working on it as a team. And other than that, I have two ideas that I'm willing to make it into a business. So the first one is basically my keyboard business, as I told you before. Um, we have manufactured switches, keycaps, and the frames, but we can't make the PCBs or we can't really code them like BMK and some other stuff as firmware used in that particular area, but we don't have the knowledge. So I got a friend who is designing that keycaps, switches, and stuff. I got a friend who makes the electric circuits and stuff, but we're trying to take it into a next level. We don't really want to go for a let's buy the PCB from this company, let's buy the pad from this company, and it will be like basically merging and basically selling and reselling. Like we don't really want to do it. So nowadays, as a team, we're trying to improve our knowledge. So that's how it goes. Other than that, I'm trying to make a archive where we released all the Gabber songs because have you ever heard of Gabber, by the way? Like it's a genre, music genre.
Nah, me personally, I didn't know about that.
Okay, so it's kind of music genre from the 90s, late 90s especially. So it's a song type where you can't really find anywhere. Like maybe in YouTube you can find, but it's all from different channels. It's all from different places. So you can't really find in a good place or you can't find in a good quality of sound. Okay. So I'm trying to make a place, actually a website where you can go and check from the database. It's gonna be an archive where you can see the old Gabber list and the new Gabber producers, and which will allow me to make a merch out of it. So I'm working with a guy in Ukraine who is designing these merch and t-shirt. By the way, for now it's going like this, and probably in 3 months we will make it posted on the website as first to see how's it going. We're gonna get it tested and stuff like that. Other than that, I just stopped doing open source. It's been like 1.5 years because I can't simply find time. I would love to work on open source projects, to be honest, but while working in or 3 projects at the same time makes it pretty hard to find some time for it. Especially nowadays, I'm trying to have a good body by going to the gym and doing other stuff. It like that's how I do. That's what I do nowadays.
Sounds pretty busy to me.
Yeah, it goes pretty busy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the music genre, like you mentioned, I just looked it up. Like it's similar to hardcore. Like I already like made
Yeah,
some
that's right.
hardcore in the
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Hardcore music
actually
actually
like
is
the same category.
yeah the same like full distorted kick and like the like the
Yeah, that's
the, the
right.
melodic leads. Yeah, I think
Gabber is
it's
kind of also subgenre, and also it's not also about music, but like it also describes the people, I guess, in Australia, in the Netherlands, especially in the Netherlands, because it's a place where if you check, like, if you're into hardcore, you will understand what I mean by Thunderdome, DEFCON. So this is
yeah.
where it happens.
Yeah, also hard style like the hard style like is actually from the Netherlands, I guess.
Yeah,
Because I was
like
making not hardcore actually hard style because I like the melodic aspect of it like and at the same time you get like something that is like for more energetic than other
yeah, that's right.
music styles.
It has got the pretty nice bass. It's not like shitting your brain like up tempo. It's the mid part. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually sounds great. I will listen to. I got some mixes here. I will put it like when I'm working out or something.
Oh yeah. Also, it will make extra think. As I told you, like there are new producers, right? If it goes something big, we can actually like podcast the artists, like, and we can basically sponsor them by making their merch and like basically giving commission to person and stuff like that. I know some people who is actually doing DJ stuff in Germany, but not in Geber, but from the connections of him, maybe we can go for it. But it's in the start idea, so it needs a little bit of time. But yeah, we got ideas, and it's, by the way, it's a two-person team. Me and my friend, he's a designer for 10 years, so it's going like this.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, actually. Good luck with that. Like, I think there is like you mentioned, like there is some other artists like doing like this kind of community
Yeah,
like work. Do you know Mr. Bill?
Mister?
Mr. Bill, like
No,
this
no, I don't know. Can you
in the
write it
chat.
on the chat?
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
he's one of the pioneers of like electronic music. Like he's in the same category as like someone like Didmouse or like Flat Pavilion, like the old school guys in the electronic music. And he has a community, and he's doing a lot of podcasts with a lot of
Yeah,
artists making electronic music. And that format actually is really good. I find it like enjoyable to like get into other creative people's brain to know like how they think, how they come up with great ideas to create music.
yeah, and like, especially like the people who are producing these music styles, like they're not pretty famous, right? So it's not like Metallica, it's not like Megadeth or something like that. So it makes it
Yeah,
especially like possible to podcast these people. Like it's not very famous, not very like big people. Of course, they're making music and it's art and we love it. But when it goes to pretty high levels, like very famous people, it gets pretty hard to podcast them. It gets pretty hard to reach them. So it also makes this possible, this genre, especially by the way, I'm listening it's for maybe like 6 or 7 years. And like it makes it possible to podcast and reach to these people, and especially for these people it's also a plus. So it's actually a pretty good idea in my opinion, because only not me is benefiting, like, but also them. In this point, I guess it's a pretty fair point.
yeah. I think that's a great idea. Also, like now you mentioned like all the people now are like optimizing for streams more than they optimize for like building a fan base like before. Like if you go back in time, you will find like a lot of artists that have pre loyal fan bases, and like they follow them anywhere. Nowadays, you can find like especially in like genres like lo-fi, you can find like lo-fi artists doing like millions of streams, and no one knows about them.
Yeah, that's actually right. But basically, like they go to a playlist where they can find lots of lo-fi music and they just listen to it. Like they don't even know the name of the artist. They don't even know the name of the song. Like because yeah, lots of people are making the genre, and no, literally like if 99% is doing lo-fi, 1% is doing gabber. So it's actually a pretty good idea. Like, and I enjoyed it a lot. So it's pretty good. Like going good for me as well. Like project not going pretty fast, but we're trying to build it.
I think that it will go places. Actually, it's a pretty good idea, and it has like a unique like a tone to it. Like
Yeah,
so.
thank you. Glad
Uh,
you like.
Yeah, actually, if you can drop something like a channel or like where I can find it, I will be like the first one to join.
Okay,
I'm pretty
I will.
pretty like curious about the genre. Like,
I, I
uh,
will definitely hit you up with that one. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, man. And good luck with the venture.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like I will start myself talking about like what I'm up to like these days. Like I'm similar to you, like in terms of the days are actually pretty full, and like because I'm working on three things, and like I have to work on them all three, because like if I don't I will have like an imbalance in terms of like my my software life per se. Like the
Yeah.
first one is like I'm working as a consultant with the company in the Netherlands. I'm actually remote,
Understandable.
like because I'm living in Morocco, and like I'm working as a consultant with that company. It's called the SOMR. Like if you heard of it, like they are like the one of the biggest events organizers like in the Netherlands. They have like a membership program, and like I'm mainly working on the membership program part. This is like
Yeah, and
the
sorry for interrupting,
the
but
work that pays
also
the bill. Yes.
since you know the Moroccan language, Arabic,
Yeah.
right? You can
It's
find
not.
lots of people who is Moroccan in the Netherlands. I've been like 6 or 7 times in the Netherlands, and you can find lots of people who are in the business who is Moroccan. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can,
Actually.
I guess you can do a lot of things there as a Moroccan. It will help you a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, like a lot of my like connections of my connections, like in the Netherlands, are like Moroccan people. Because like they
Yeah,
are like the one of the majority of the minority, if that makes sense. Like they are like how do you call it, like there is a lot of Moroccan people there. And
that's
also
right.
like
Yeah,
in Morocco, like we don't speak like the Arabic, like the pure Arabic, like because it's a mixture of a lot of languages. We
French
have
maybe.
like words from French, yeah, French. We have words from Spanish. We have words from Arabic. We have words from like the native people like here in the like the North African area, which like the Berbers, like they're called, or Amazirs. Like yeah, there is a lot of variety of languages there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
heard the Berberis,
yeah, Berber people like are the native people here. But like
the North Africa. Yeah,
there's yeah, but like nowadays, like there is not a lot of native people because like it's all over the place. You can find like people talking Arabic and they have like heritage from like the Netherlands or America. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and like as for fun projects, like I'm actually working on a web synthesizer, like because like I like doing making music, and I'm working on a web synthesizer. That's like a fun part. And yeah, for like other like things like the future projects for me, like I'm working on a startup. I'm the only like how do you call it, the one man show in the startup.
yeah.
Actually, in 6 months, I wrote like 1.5 million lines of code. Yeah, this is like the the highest number like
Wait,
I could
did you write
achieve
like
like
1.5 millions of code in 6 months?
yeah, in six, yeah, because
What?
like I was really like locked in, like I was working like 12 to 14 hours a day.
That's
Like
called the
Only
which
grind.
programming
breaks.
language?
Actually, yeah, that's the five parts. It's TypeScript and a little bit of Rust
What?
in some services. And like these days, the project is pretty much done because I was like doing also some meetings with some potential clients. And yeah, I'm just doing some like outreach for some funding for the project. Uh, because like here in Morocco, actually I got like a meeting with the head of an accelerator program here in Morocco, which is funded by the government, and they give like a really good allowances. Like it's not uh, like a loan; it's just money you get and to build the project because like they want to encourage people to make great stuff like here in the country because we are not really big on technology here, so they want to uh, like to allocate more resources to the field.
Yeah, I got it. That's pretty nice. Like, by the way, like you single-handedly make the MySQL from scratch. Like, it was even like 1 million lines of code. Like it's
Yeah.
just like unbelievable stuff, you know. Like by the way, how does it work? Like 1.5 million lines of code. Is it generated code
Actually,
or like
yeah, the thing is like for some parts like the contents for some parts like is generated by AI, but like the because the actually the project it has a lot of moving parts, so the majority of like the how do you call it, the hard parts are like
okay?
the infrastructure
How much is
parts and the
how much of the code is written by
yes,
you? Like basically, like what percent?
maybe maybe 80%.
Like
Yeah, because
okay,
like
this
there is besides like the code I wrote, because like, I worked on a lot of projects, and each time I make like a project that there is like that has some useful parts to it, I create packages from those uh, those projects. And also I have a monorepo which is like a starting point, which has a lot of infrastructure parts I use. I find myself like using a lot of times. So
is
maybe like I wrote a million just by myself, because like actually the code base it changes a lot. I find like
oh,
some
this is pretty
issues
impressive.
each
Is it
time.
open source?
And no, actually it's not open source for now. But like
Got it.
I'm going to open source some parts of it in the
Yeah,
future. Maybe after I get some
because
funding.
like I have never seen a person is like one person like writing 1 million lines of code for a project. By the way, like isn't it like who's gonna manage it if you sell it? Like it's another question, right? Or what do you
Yeah,
think?
that's
Like, have
the
you ever written something like that?
yeah that's actually the thing that makes me like doing a lot of changes a lot of times during the development, because like, yes, the actual project like it works, but like I'm thinking ahead, because in the future maybe after I get some funding, or for example like if I grew it to an exit, for example. So like I'm thinking ahead for how the maintenance would look like. So I'm constantly refactoring and doing like some architectural decisions to make things like easier in terms of modularity, and making things like less cluttered, so it's easier to maintain for me also, because like I'm the only person working on it. It's actually like hard to keep everything in your mind with time. And that's actually it gets harder if like you are working on the project a lot, and like it changes a lot, like it makes like it's a bit harder to remember where everything at.
And it's impressive. Like every time I get a little depressed, I dig out like these words you said. Like I will remember them, buddy. Like this is pure motivation. Like I have never seen such a person who is like this focused on something. Like 1 million lines of code.
Yeah.
Impressive,
Actually
man.
the a lot of times I get like like into some depression, and like I say to myself, you should give up on this project, like it's not even worth it. But like with time, like after like I had a good starting point and I'm satisfied with like I said, maybe it's time to get to talk with the customers, and that helps a lot, because like you get feedback, and also you are encouraged, like because you are making something that matters and useful to other people, and that gives you a little bit of push to continue on the project.
I really respect that, and just want to say that like it's not about your project or anything, but I think the code lines, like number of lines, um, is not a good metric when it comes to just evaluating a project. again, it's not about your case, but like imagine a Java project with a lot of boilerplate and like a, I don't know, a Rust project which has a lot of generic like abstractions and everything going on. I mean, in that case, the Java project doing the same job, I think that will have more lines of code, but doesn't mean that it's working more efficiently and stuff like that. So yeah, just want to quickly say that, but I think what you're building sounds really great, and it's I think it's one of the good examples of a grind. I mean, you're working on the salon and stuff like that, so respect that, bro.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I agree with what you said in terms of the lines of code, like not being a great metric, because like as I said earlier, like it's not the majority of the time like goes into thinking and doing like architectural decisions. Because the code is just code. You implement things to work. Like it's not like something that is like. Impressive enough unless you are writing assembly. But like it's as you said, like the continuation like on the project even like when it gets hard, like uh, gives you more self-respect, and you start to like see yourself a different way in terms of your commitment to doing things, because life is actually hard, and some things like this that build like the self confidence, and
Yeah,
that gets us to like the self confidence part in any like line of business. It's not like built. It's not built by convincing yourself that you are self confident, but it's built with like the hard times which you overcome with like the grind and like the commitment.
yeah. That actually reminds me of the time that I started working on open source, because my story is basically it was a dark chapter in my life, and during the time I didn't really have anything to do with programming or anything like that. It's usually a bit of other stuff going on in my life. But then during night before I go to sleep, I was just very consistently working on my projects. Like every day, I was just trying to spend some time on them, and like going one step further every day. And then it really helped me get through those dark times, to be honest, because when you have something that you're constantly grinding, or like something that really gives you some kind of motivation to keep going, and at the end you see the results of that thing. It just really helps you out, and I guess that was the only solution to all my like mental struggles, because I don't know, it's hard to get out of that state without doing nothing. So you gotta just do something small. I don't know, and then it really helped me. I was basically doing like, I don't know, 10 minutes of coding, or something like that every day back in 2017 or something. And over time, I realized, yeah, this is gonna be this is something that I want to do all the time, because yeah, this is something that I really like. So yeah, I kept pushing, just like you, man. So I see the grind, and I really respect it.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, this is a good thing. Like, there is like a proverb that says like, if you work with like I'm not quoting it like directly. I'm just giving the gist of it. Like, if you work on something that you like, you will never like work a day of your life. And that helps true when like you are really enthusiastic about like the field you are in, and also uh, that also helps you get into the hard times in your life, because you see see the lights in the end of the tunnel. And yeah, it's the tunnels are different, like, because uh, a lot of us think that we have only one mission and one way in life. We have just to discover it. But like as we evolve, like those how we want ourselves to be, and what we want to achieve changes. Yes, some of your old aspirations and things you want to do, like still makes it with you, with the changes you encounter with life. But uh, only the principles and the things that are rooted deeply, that still makes it with you. And yeah, and you try to uh, achieve greatness, as they say, with the way you see. Because there is now with the internet, and the entire world is really small in terms of a it's like an echo chamber, or there is a lot of echo chambers. You can see a lot of ideas everywhere, similar ideas. But uh, how you create a unique perspective for yourself, and your goals is like a rare skill, in this day and age, because a lot of people see success as like making money, and driving the Bentley car, or something like that. But it's actually uh, what you see for yourself, in terms of uh, your your purpose in life.
Yeah. Speaking of Bentley, I think Castiel has a Bentley, right?
I got a Camaro. I don't have the Bentley.
Damn.
I wish I had a Bentley though.
Yeah, Bentley
By
actually
the way,
it's
as I noticed
yes.
by talking to lots of software developers who try hard to improve themselves every day, make their own products, are basically obsessed with the idea of designing a product, right? And engineer it at its best in a technical perspective, like to make it bigger. Just by that. It was also the case for me. Like I was in a high school. I started coding when I was a freshman in high school. Like I had a friend. We were playing video games every day. Like we were really successful students at high school. Like one day we said, like, why not make our own game? Like that would be fun, even though not no one's gonna play it. We might play it, right? Basically, just creating your idea of games of ideas. So we said, okay, I'm gonna learn programming, and you're gonna learn designing and 3D modeling, so we can start with that. So everything started like that on my side, and I guess hopes and thinking about a bright and successful future is the key to move further for like-minded people like us, because without like the hope to get rich, or maybe it's a different thing for you, or get famous in tech field, like whatever that is, like we have the idea of getting into that position one day, and that's maybe why we're grinding so hard, because most of the people who are obsessed with these stuff, or it might be something else, are coming from mental struggles like me. I was in the same um hand, I guess, and we basically find us a way where we can escape the bad feelings, or like the bad thoughts. It's kind of an escapism, in my opinion, because as Orhun said, like he was in a bad mental state as well, and like developing his own stuff really helped. I think like it's the case for a lot of people who is really like spending a lot of time, who is trying to make software, even though it's open source or not open source proprietary, basically making their own stuff. It's coming from that side, especially like it was the thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I agree 100% with what you said, because we are all humans drive by our like desire to be great, or sometimes we are driven by childhood traumas sometimes. But like the essential thing is and the best thing is like to know what's the your real driver in life. Because when you know your driver, you know how to use it for your advantage, and like control it to your wills. And sometimes like people do things and they don't know why they do them. And that like doesn't it's like a painkiller. It's not like the solution to satisfaction.
Do you guys agree that too much self-awareness is actually not a very good thing? Because I mean, if
Yes,
you
I
just
do.
yeah, like you are like very aware of yourself. You are very aware of all the all the pain. You know, like you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I guess having so much self-awareness is a good thing in some way, and it's a bad thing in some ways. But basically, if you're very self-aware, you can improve yourself by basically seeing what you can do, what kind of person you are, what environments will make you feel good. But at the same time, sometimes it can get to a place where you can think you know everything. I after like spending a lot of time with people who is in the same place, I said like maybe it's not the case. Maybe I'm thinking too much. It wasn't like a 1 day of writing, but it was a pretty long, pretty um spiky road, let's say. It was one of my uh, stuff like where I was basically struggling with in the life because if you have so much self-awareness or if you think like that, maybe you can, but let's say you're thinking a lot, you won't be really listening to opinions from other people too. Like that's what I really see from other people who thinks like this as well, because in that case like you think like I'm knowing a lot, I'm aware of everything around my area, what's revolving around me, and it can turn you into a person who thinks only I know, only I can do it, and maybe stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for I think I agree 100% with what you said. Like, for me, like the challenge like how to use self-awareness to my like advantage in life is in finding like a good balance between how much I'm pessimistic or how much I'm optimistic for any given scenarios, like for or a problem I encounter in my life. But like the good like balance I found so far is to be pessimistic in the short term and like be optimistic in the long term. Because like with self-awareness, if I'm pessimistic like in the short term, I can like do like a lot of progress on myself and like my craft, and in terms of like how much I grow in a given like time frame, and that like will help my vision for the future. And if you add to that like the optimism in terms of a long-term vision, you will like still going even with like the hurdles of the like the pessimism in the short term. Like and that like helps a lot with like giving you like some hope for the future, and also showing you like your like weaknesses so we can work on them like in the short term.
Yeah, I think that's a good balance. I usually try to uh, be aware that I am too self-aware, and I try to not be so self-aware, and kind of doing the same thing. And yeah, but sometimes you just like get blinded, and you're like either thinking that you're not enough, or like you're just seeing the negative parts of things, or like you're comparing yourself with other people. That's just very very harmful, and it's probably the worst thing that you can do to yourself. So yeah, guys, if you don't mind, I'm gonna change the subject a bit because I wanna like hear from Monocled and what he's grinding, because he's like joined us. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna give him the mic. Bro, Monocled, you here?
Whoa.
Yo.
I think like I was disconnected for some time.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So, Monocled, you're sharing very interesting stuff in the server, and I'm like actually curious about what you're doing, and you know what you're building these days, bro. Do you mind telling us about tell us a bit about your grind? Are you there? He's not interested. Am I disconnected? Can you guys hear me?
I'm working on a goal scheme. Can I get some feedback for it?
Sorry, I get disconnected, I think. What did you say?
For some reason, like Discord, like disconnects people. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There is some echo, I think, maybe on my side.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
Now is
Test.
Orhun, we can't. I can hear you in stream, but I can't in Discord.
That's very weird. Now?
I was just checking that out. Something was wrong with your side.
Can you hear me now?
I can't get your voice on Discord, but I can hear you in stream.
That's very weird. Hold on.
I think you should. I think Discord is like a has like some issues in terms of the channel. Sometimes you get like muted, or you can't hear like the other members.
Is it fixed now? I wonder.
Yeah, I think it's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fixed right here. Yeah, we can hear you.
That's very weird. I basically lost the last 2 minutes or something. I don't know what
Yeah.
Yeah,
happened.
me too.
Someone was also disconnecting from Discord. Like probably Trianix was disconnecting. I think, some troubles issues with Discord.
Yeah, the last thing that I heard was Monoclet saying something, but I couldn't catch it. So if
Yeah,
here's
me neither. I think he said like, "Can you review my code or something like this?"
maybe
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want us to review your code or the Neovim colors, or what do you want exactly?
Could I get some feedback on my codes? The code scheme?
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I think it's great. Also the font. Which font is that?
It's called Kolsch. I'll send a link.
Oh, yeah, the font looks great. Actually,
That
I'm
looks good,
using.
but I can't work with that kind of fonts. Like it gets pretty hard to work with them, I guess, for my side.
Yeah, it's hard to work with, but like it's good for demos. It's good for
Yeah,
like if
that's
you're
definitely right. Yeah.
yeah for me like I'm using JetBrains like Node font. It's good for like readability.
This reminds me of VS Code color scheme that I built a long time ago. Hold on, I'll just send it to the chat and blind everyone. It's just an abomination.
Actually, looks good. It's really minimalistic.
Almost no colors.
I mean, it looks
Actually,
pretty, I guess.
it's good for yeah. It's pretty actually. Yeah, actually, V2, I made like a theme, and like a few days I checked it, like I found like 30,000 downloads, and I
Wow.
haven't updated it like for a while.
Was it like a VS Code theme or?
Yeah, it's a VS Code theme, and also
Yeah.
it will blind you if you're using it for code. I will share it in
Yeah.
the chat. I haven't updated it for 2 years, I think. You know, this one. It's not like that's good for like it's good for demos, not like for coding.
Yeah, I like the heavy use of purple in the last code that you put on the repo.
Yes. For like it's not like the color scheme is not like mine. It's for a company called Vercel. They use it for their code blocks, and like I like the code blocks at first, and I made like a theme with the same color scheme.
Nice.
For now, I'm using Poimandris. It's like a theme, like it's heavy on muted colors. I will share it with you if maybe you'll like it. It helps with the color blindness, and also it helps with eye strain because the like the amount of contrast between the colors used is not that big. So you heard about like the drama like with that theme like what do you call it, the material UI theme, I think.
There was drama about that.
Yeah, they discovered like some dependencies that can execute code in a theme.
What?
Yeah, and Microsoft like removed the theme from the marketplace.
Wait, how? Like Material UI made by Google?
No, actually, it's called the material theme.
Oh, I don't know it.
Yeah, me too. I like I was surprised,
How?
like something
I thought
I'm not familiar with.
you were
Yeah,
telling me like the UI kit made by Google and like, do you know the Material UI? I thought like you were referring to that
yes.
one. I was like, how the hell is that possible?
Yeah, actually, it's called the material theme.
it's interesting.
Yeah, actually, like just the naming can like raise some issues in terms of the trademark. Like I don't know like why Google didn't like do anything about like the naming.
Basically, people can like put malware in VS Code store, like the plugin store.
Yeah, there is like a dependency in the like the npm package JSON, like the dependency like was intended for execution code, and it was not like listed as a div dependency. It was listed as a dependency for the entire project.
I see. Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, and also like there is like previous drama about the theme with the Z editor, like because
No, I
someone
don't know.
like someone like took the entire color scheme and he made it like as a theme for Z, which is another editor, and like the maintainer of the original theme like didn't like that, and like he went to lash out on the Z maintainers, saying like it's a paid theme, like they have to remove it. Like it's fair actually, but like it was like from an old like license, like because like he changed the license afterwards, and the theme like put in the Z marketplace was from the old one, not the new one, because he was using an Apache license before, and he changed it.
Have you tried out Zed?
Actually, I'm using it for
Using it?
it's fast. Yeah, because like as I said earlier, I had a lot of TypeScript code, and like the VS Code like TypeScript server like was crashing a lot. So I used Z, and like it was working fine since then.
I see.
Like there's like other like code editors for like AI stuff, like like there is two like which are like the popular ones, like Cursor, and like another one like called the Windsurf. And honestly, like I tried them for a little bit. Like I didn't like the blind trust like people like make in the like the AI coding the entire solution for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't verify like the actual code.
Yeah, I haven't tried out Cursor yet. I have a friend who was bugging me very frequently. He just texts me, Have you tried Cursor? Have you tried Cursor?" And every day I'm like, "Dude, I will check it out. I'll check it out." And I haven't checked it out. And people are very hyped about it. I don't know. Maybe one day I can check it out.
So the AI one.
Yes. Continue. Yeah, what I was wanted to say is like Cursor is good, but like the problem like with it like the agentic stuff. Actually, my product is actually like about like agents and stuff like that. But like the part like you can trust the actual AI to write you code. It's not like good. Because it's good to use AI for faster like development and prototyping. Like it's not good like to trust the AI to make like architectural decisions and design decisions for your business logic.
Yep.
It's like now like you are actually the co-pilots because like Microsoft they made the co-pilots. Like now the AI is the pilots, and like everyone else is the co-pilots. As it's not good, but because as the project grows, you find problems to know what anything does in the code base, because it's actually code you haven't wrote.
Yeah, Helix is another good one, I think. I'm just waiting for the plugin support and integrated terminal, and also the Neo3 like file explorer to switch to Z. Because I don't want to like configure a bunch of things to use them. But I think once there's a plugin system in Helix, did I say Z? Sorry. In Helix, I will just switch to Helix because it seems quite promising to me, and I just don't like configuring NeoVim over and over again when there's a new new release and new stuff like that. Helix is more like, you just install it, everything is there, you can just start using it and stuff like that. So I just like that simplicity, and also it's Rust, so that's better. So yeah, I'm just waiting
Yeah.
for those.
I use Cocoon, which is what Helix is based on. It's a lot simpler and a lot more customizable, but it has a lot less stuff out of the box.
What's the name of the editor again?
Cocoon.
Okay, I think I heard of that before. Is it like easy to configure and stuff like that?
Pretty easy, but it is a lot. It's lighter than even NeoVim, so you do have to add a lot of this stuff yourself. But it comes with it automatically creates auto completion and syntax highlighting and stuff, so you don't even need LSPs or completion plugins or anything. And you can make a lot of the widgets and stuff in Cocoon script.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that I really don't like about NeoVim, which is for every like small editor feature that you don't even think about, you just need a little plugin for those, and at the end of the day you end up with like at least 40 or like 50 plugins when you have something really functional and efficient. Maybe some people will disagree with me on this, but I'm using a stock NeoVim config with a lot of things that makes it like a full IDE, not just a code editor. And to reach that level, I basically like running a lot of plugins, and I don't even know what the half of them are doing. And I cannot imagine if I configure this from scratch, I will probably like put a lot of time into that, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to maintain yet another config, so I need something like Helix these days. So yeah.
Also, people like tend to assign like more value to things like they did themselves, like the how do you call it, like the IKEA effect. Like when you assemble something yourself, like you give it like more value. And most of the time, like it's not like about productivity, because like when you use a tool like enough times, even like for example, you are using like VS Code. And VS Code, like if you use it a lot, you can like optimize your workflow with time. As you find yourself like can do something faster, you can like do some workflow enhancements while you are using the tool. I think like in terms of workflow, maybe sometimes people like use things at first because like they find them interesting, and they heard like everyone else saying like it's better for like faster workflow and optimizing productivity, and like the actual productivity benefits come after like using the tool enough times.
Man, I feel like at this point, just configuring that stuff for productivity and stuff like is basically unproductive. Am I wrong? Just
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, actually, I can
Yep.
Yes,
Sorry, go
sorry
ahead.
for interrupting.
No,
Yeah,
no.
continue.
I have a slight delay because of my VPN. That's fine. I was going to say, um, it's like saying, using Arch Linux is unproductive because you spend time on installing it and like maintaining all this stuff and stuff like that, but it's actually quite productive at the end of the day. But it really depends. Like, do you really want to do that, or like, do you have time to do that? It depends on you, I would say. Like, sometimes I feel like yes, using all these quote unquote very efficient and highly customizable tools are very productive. But when something breaks, I'm like, bro, do I really need to deal with this now? This is very annoying and stuff like that. But luckily, that does not happen a lot with Arch, so I would argue on that. But Neovim, it like breaks. Okay, so yeah, I guess I can say that it's like slightly unproductive to just spend time on fixing breakage and maintaining all those things. But it depends, like I said.
Yeah. One thing with Cancun though is it has really great integration with external tools, so you really don't need a lot of the stuff inside the editor. Like you can see in my setup, I'm not using a single plugin, and it works for me, but I don't really have a lot of stuff built in, like a lot of people do.
I mean, like, I'm using VS Code for a long time, and it really does the job for me since I feel like if I go and use some custom tools, like basically putting lots of plugins, integrating different technologies with it, and customizing for myself, will take a lot of time to learn, first of all, because it's a pretty big learning curve, I guess. Basically, learning what the plugins do, how can I customize it, how do I customize it, and what do I need to do if I'm willing to write some C++ code or C code, maybe embedded, maybe in a specific code guideline. But basically, when I'm using VS Code, I just go open a page, look at how can I do this, and basically, I don't really feel like, hey, I might need to go and put this plugin, put this very specialized plugin, and doing that kind of specific job because it's I think selection of IDE or like code editor is basically depends on the developer's taste, I guess, because I basically prefer something lightweight. I mean, VS Code isn't maybe not that lightweight compared to Vim and no Vim, but I just like the simplicity where I really don't need to customize it by putting some hours, and I just like it because I don't really need to learn how to do this, how to just go it. I just open the file and just like writing the stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like get behind like the philosophy of making something for your specifically for your workflow, because sometimes like yeah, people like use customizable things or tools just because like they think they can make something really tailored to their workflow and optimize productivity for them. So it and like other people like are pragmatic with like short-term benefits more than like long-term like rewards, like because like if
Yeah,
you customize like a tool, you can like sacrifice the short-term benefits and like speed or like long-term like speed. But like if you are
but you know
pragmatic and
what?
you have stuff to do like faster, like you will try the all off the shelf tool and like call
Yes,
it a
you're
day.
right, but I guess it also depends on what you do and how many projects you're working on. And if you're working for yourself, that's probably fine because you will use your stuff. You won't be in a need to go and say, "Hey, I'm gonna use a different stuff today." But if you're working for a company and basically making contracts with different companies, because that's simply what I do nowadays, like you can't really say, "Hey, I'm gonna customize it so much that it's gonna be amazing for my workflow, but it might not work out for other code bases or projects workflows. Maybe you can't really make the stuff easily, and basically, like if you get paid per week, per hour, it really depends on the project, but you can't really say, hey, I can use this very customized thing and this will I can use it everywhere. But what if it crashes, like Orhun said, like NeoVim can crash out and he has to like work for hours to make it work again. In contracts with fixed hours, you can't really do that. You have to go for a tool that won't break out. And I also experienced that before. Like I was working in a project. I said, okay, let's try this stuff. I'm not really remember. I don't really remember what was that, but one day the thing crashed out and it took for hours to fix that, and there was a pretty strict deadline on it, and it was like pretty fucking bad. So if you like to customize everything, it's fine, but working in some strict projects, it might not the best way, I think.
Also, there is like another factor besides like productivity, which is like the wow factor or like the excitement factor. Because sometimes when you configure something like to your liking and to your taste, you will be more excited to use that thing in your workflow more than another thing. And that also like can happen for a variety of reasons. For me, for example, some tools that like are not like really critical to my workflow, I can have the luxury to customize it and to make like to spice things up for me or like more my workflow. But like other critical things that are like I can't like for example afford the downtime or like the loss in the loss in the productivity. I will not go too much into customizing them.
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like when I'm working in a project where I get paid, I feel like the only excitement I get, it's the day where I'm gonna get paid. Yes, it's like this, but at the end of the day, the person who's paying me to make the project is expecting that, and I'm expecting the money. So nowadays, I don't really find excitement in like making very customized software, rising my Linux setup, and basically making it only the one in the world. I don't really feel excitement from it anymore because once I get to business field, by the way, I was doing like I was in the same mentality 4 years ago, but it's changed drastically for me because when you get to more like one-to-one connections with business people, like it gets a little bit different, I guess, because I was the same kind of person where I really much enjoyed like making my own stuff, pretty much configuring it, and not by only configuring it, basically making my own. But I feel like nowadays I just like making it reasonable and making it basic, and which is gonna make which is gonna make me able to make my stuff, I guess, because I don't really find the excitement or the joy in doing that because if I do it, I feel like okay, I'm basically just a bit wasting my time maybe because if I do something different, maybe I could basically make some income from there, or maybe basically call this client, say, hey, we have a product, or we can. I'm examine your, for example, very basic stuff. I examine your website. We can do some SEO improvements and stuff. I just don't like putting so much time into these stuff anymore, I guess.
Actually, I can agree with that because, like, as you said, like the one-to-one connections with the customers can be a little bit like more on the pragmatic side than the wow factor side. Because, like, for me, when I do like meetings with clients to talk about like functionalities or like things like that can look good or like functional function like in a certain way. they are like going like crazy because like they don't like uh the fancy things, or they want just something that gets the job done. They want just a button, you
By the
click
way,
it does something, and that's it, and you get paid.
not only that,
But
but I feel like once you having to get some income from like doing stuff, you also feel like, okay, maybe the things I really worked hard, maybe they were worthless, because that's how I felt. Basically, like I was pretty much doing that kind of stuff, and I was really not making money, okay, years ago. But once I get to make money, basically very solid stuff, I felt like, okay, maybe that's the way to go as a software developer. By the way, nowadays making this is pretty hard because the industry is getting interesting, I guess. Like business people are basically making layoffs, firing people. Like it's normal companies, but also for freelancers as well, or also for like small businesses as well. I guess it's getting pretty hard to make some business out there as a solo developer, or like um anyone who wants to sell their products as a software product. I think nowadays it's very much easier to sell a physical product than a software product, and also for finding an investor for it. Like 5 years ago, it was pretty easy. Like someone could go to a person, like say, hey, I just want to make a crypto project, and it would make a lot of money. And yes, in 5 years ago, the crypto companies were basically scamming people too, and that was how's it going. And nowadays, like I feel like it's really hard to stand out as a developer, and in the tech field generally, I guess.
and that's where marketing has come for the rescue. Because like actually like the uh, I'm not like too big on the actual idea or the actual final product, if it's software or hardware. It's just how you sell it, or how it fixes the pain points of the customers. Because like customers, like they want a solution to not a painkiller. They want like something that solves their problem. So if you can paint and like have proper selling points for your products, if it's hardware or software, it will get clients, and it will get investments. And if like you can't find like a specific a proper value proposition for your product, like I don't think, even if the product is good, or like is like well done, even if it's hardware or software, I don't think like you will get customers, or like investors.
I mean,
It's
it's pretty
all
hard to
about how
find
you frame
anyone,
it.
even if the product is pretty good, by the way. Like, I have no clue. But like, I was doing the same stuff. By the way, let me explain. I was doing a, I was in a company, like very, by the way, not like a full time. Basically, we were like sharing the money that's coming with a guy who was working in a pretty big defense company in Turkey, in Ankara. Anyways, like that was pretty easy. Like back in the day, you could make a simple project, okay? Because the field wasn't really big. Eh, Okay, there were developers, but 5 years ago, if there were like 100,000 developers, right now it's at least maybe 5 times more. Like after COVID, literally everyone said, "Hey, these guys are can work from home and they can do remote. So I want to be a developer as well." So they opened the courses and said, "It's the day to be a developer." So I guess the software industry in general is having um an overpopulation of developers. I guess it's fed enough as developers. Like I'm seeing so much people who are like graduated from school and they just can't find any jobs. By the way, it's not only in my country and in Europe as well. I've seen it a lot of times in Poland. I was basically in Poland for a year. And the weird fact that like I guess the companies are just trying to cut as well. But the thing is, like the software developers are increasing day by day. Like it's kind of interesting fact because like 6 years ago, do you guys remember that the people say, "Hey, it's the profession of the future, software tech, it's for the future." But nowadays, we just see like people are struggling to find jobs. Literally, like even if it's freelancing, even if it's like a full-time stack, full-time fixed job. So I think nowadays it's extremely hard to stand out with any product. Like there is even the possibility of even no person can see. Like no one can guarantee that a person will see and hey, that's a nice product. And I've seen lots of startups that has even no visitors. Like literally, even with the marketing, even with the advertisements, like you can't get a client.
Actually, like there is something like there is like two things I noted from what you said. Like the first one, like there is like the supply and the demand in the software field is not actually like that different because now we rely more on the software to do like things for us. But like the problem is company like the economy, the macro economy influences like micro economies like the software like development field, and the actual field like has to like minimize the actual investments in the developments and maximize like the profits for the shareholders in the companies. So I think like it's not the problem is not like really the amount of developers, because like most of developers are subpar like in this industry as of now. Like the senior and the good developers, like the best developers are working like at great companies, and they still there like because like they do all they can to stay in their positions, or like they are working on other like projects, for example open source projects, and those open source projects are used by the big companies. So you have two places you can find great developers. And the second thing is like for marketing, for the building the products. I think like now you should optimize for the virality of the product. Like you have to make a product that which does the marketing for itself. Like the kind of product people want to share and like make create videos on. And that's like the best way to market like products and to grow organically in like this age of virality and going viral in platforms, because like the ads and like the traditional marketing as we know it doesn't really work in terms of like finding you the right people to show the products
Yeah,
with.
but
Yes, yes.
coming up with a product that makes its own advertisement, it's I guess it's extremely hard as well. Like and like is if it's a tech product, I guess it's not possible. But if it's like a physical product, if it's very interesting, and if you put it to TikTok, Instagram, or um, social media like that, it might. But if it's tech related, I guess it's not possible in any way.
Yeah, I will just jump
Actually,
in real quick.
it's possible. I can give you a small example, which is Cursor. Cursor actually like they didn't like do any kind of marketing in terms of making ads, or they are like big as of now, like as a text editor, you can call it that, or an AI development environment for people, just with the word of mouth and like uh, people sharing this and like saying like I made this one shot with Cursor and like stuff like that. So I think it's just about like the, as you said, it's partially the actual field or the actual problem you are solving, which dictates how the marketing will go. but like you can actually optimize for virality in your products by creating like some kind of features like people want to talk about. They can be they can like sometimes you make those features not as core features, but like just an attraction to bring people to your products who can sell them like the stuff that actually makes money.
Orhun was saying something.
Yeah, I was saying I guess it's not like it's not impossible, but it's like a very rare case because I mean there are lots of like the software industry is very saturated with a bunch of things, bunch of startups and bunch of projects. Like even today, if you want to like build something unique, it's very hard. Like it was probably built before and it applies for like open source or like you know the uh, proprietary software and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I I don't know. I personally worked for those kind of startups here. Like they are doing something, they're building something, but I mean, is it really needed? Like, and why are they doing it? Where is the actual value? Like, I was just questioning my life while working on those
Yeah.
companies. I hope they're not watching. They're probably not watching, but whatever. So it was just like, I don't know. Nothing made sense to me, but they were hyped. You know, people are just being hyped about building things. I understand that, but I didn't really see the value behind it. And yeah, it's just very hard to do something that will just bring a lot of value on like by itself, not with all the promotions or like the advertisements or like something or somebody backing it and stuff like that. I think a good example of that is the Ghosty terminal, because you know the project itself. Just imagine that being a project made by just someone obscure on the internet. I don't think it would get this much of attention and this much of use and hype with it. Do you guys agree, or does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I do agree. It does make sense,
I
and
do.
the fact
Yeah, I
that
think
like
Ghosty. If yes, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
okay, so much people who entered the industry like as a software developer, like they were having hard times finding a job, like a real job, of course. Let's say it's a full time because most of the people who is like trying to learn is starting with the hope of like, hey, I can find a full time job and I will make enough money from there to feed me and do my hobbies and live my life. But when they understand that's not the case, they just start to make their own companies, and you can see that by basically just going to LinkedIn without no experience. People are founders of some companies with founder and full stack developer or something like that. Okay, whatever. So people are just trying to create their own startups. They just go and share it in every place, and they just apply for funding programs. Basically, we got funding programs here as well, but let's say there's a funding program that will only fund 5 projects in a year, and let's imagine a situation where 10,000 people sends projects. So in this case, even if you have a pretty amazing project that can change a lot of things, they might not even see that. So in this case, it goes into a level where luck involves in. So I guess even if you have a pretty good project and if you're looking for investor, or let's say you're not even looking for investors, you're just looking for clients, you may be building a project that also like 10 or 20 people might be building it right now. So this is also a case. Let's say if it's a CRM, like how many CRMs are there? Like 10,000? Like I'm still seeing people who are just trying to make their own CRMs or like any management system nowadays, and they just have their idea in their mind that they're gonna sell it to customers and clients, and it will make a lot of money. And I'm seeing it any day, anywhere. Like people are writing me like from my connections. They're just young people who are in their early 20s, and they just say, "Hey, we're just building it. Would you recommend something with it? Like, how can we like advertise it?" And I just eat and like I don't say anything bad, like because I don't want to break their motivation, but nearly 10,000 people maybe built it. Like, it's not gonna sell. If you know some people, like personally, you can sell to them and they can refer it to their connections. But in other way, it won't be anything, won't be happening in like nothing will happen as a success, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Like from my own experience, like the two things like I think can help like bringing you investors and customers. The first one is like to build with the customer in mind and like leverage your connections to get like early customers, even like when the product is not like even done yet, just to like to test the product market fit before like going all in into the products. And the second thing is like about the funding, because like the because people like when they are building like a product and they're aiming for getting some funding for it, they are actually like fixated on only on the money, not the actual like uh, how do you call it, like the support of like the VC or like the institution they want in their product. So I think like it's best like to try to find like the VCs or like the institutions that share the same vision as you, and they have like some uh, good investments in the same field as you are, because like it's yes, you can like find investors that have invested in the same products or the same idea as yours, but like that's how VCs work. They make a lot of bets, and if only one works, it pays off the rest. So you have to leverage that. And also people like invest VCs and like institutions like invest in people, not the products, because the products and the ideas can change. Even like if you start, for example, as a text editor, you can like pivot to something else in the middle of the developments. Yeah, so it's not all about the idea, it's all about the person behind it. And sometimes they choose the person based on achievements and like education. For example, they are like graduates from Harvard or something, or they choose them based on their actual experience. They worked on a company X or a company Y, or they made products X or a products Y. So there is many small things that play in terms of getting the funding or not.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yep. Guys, I'll wrap this up. But you can just feel free to chat here or like in the voice chat, because I think we're almost like in 2 hours mark. It was a quite a productive discussion, I think. We talked about many things, and it was just good to hear from you, instead of just being on the other side while I was just speaking and then you guys were listening to me. So yeah, I'll just like stop the stream. And is there anything that you want to say before we do that, or yeah, just go ahead if there's anything.
I just want to say thank you for this great experience. Like it's great to meet like other like minded people to talk about like interesting things as we did today. And like maybe we can do something like this in the future, or maybe we can turn it into a podcast with a proper like structure in the
Yeah,
future, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I will either gonna do this format or just gonna like do a podcast or something because it's fun. I think we have lots of things to learn from each other, and I don't want to be the center of the grind. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But I just want to like be around the grind. So yeah, two things that I want to mention. One of them is Mr. Dick. He's on the YouTube chat. He's been kind of contributing to the discussion a bit, but he's in YouTube, so we didn't really check that. He said stuff like the cursor. Um, Cursor was actually did a good marketing or stuff like that. I'm not sure about that, but we can maybe discuss it later on. Also, my moderator, Transhistoric. Shout out to him, although he's just been a bit busy with some emergency situation, but he's around. I appreciate him. So yeah. Also, he's actually real. It turns out, because I think he was just a chatbot or something. But yeah, maybe he has a very good like a voice synthesizer. I don't know. I still don't trust him, but whatever. Yeah. So everybody, thanks for tuning in to this grind sesh, and we're gonna do this more in the future. So yeah, see you around, I guess.
Thank you, thanks a lot, and thank you, Kassia, for the conversation. Yeah, I had a great time.
Thank you as well, man. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, thank you.
Yep. All right, everybody. Take care. Feel free to stay
Alright.
here, but I'm gonna leave and see you around in the Discord and other socials. Bye.
But
And bye. Thank you.